Broadcasting live from SETI Alpha 6 in the Andromeda Galaxy, this is Mr. C.
Well, happy Monday to you. Where did that weekend go, 7th graders? Well, anyway, I think you've already got these things, but you need two white sheets. And if you'll number to 11 on one of those white sheets, if you haven't already done that, I suspect you've already done that. And then you need a red pen. So 2 white sheets, number to 11 on one of them. My guess is you've already accomplished that. So way to go. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend. So I know I did. And I had my binos out last night. And what did I see? I saw a really nice view of Jupiter and 1 Galilean moon. So I was very, very pleased about that. Hey, I'm getting good reports from Mr. Gilbert. So way to go, you 7th graders. Keep it up. As far as getting after your do nows right away when you come in. And hopefully that was the case today. Okay, taking out your journal right away and being ready to log into it. Putting your homework in your lesson planner. And I'm going to go over that in a little bit. You see it up there on the board. Okay. So anyway, I'm hoping that you will continue to impress Mr. Gilbert with your cooperation level. Keep it up. Keep it going. Keep giving me good reports through him. Okay. We're going to use LS6 in a bit. So you'll need to take out LS6 and kind of have it at the ready. I think maybe you've already got it out as one of your do-nows before the video started. Hey, make sure you've got name, date, period up in the upper right-hand corner. And you've numbered to 11 on that one white sheet. The other one's a cover sheet. So have it at the ready. So anyway, I wanted to follow up just a little bit on last Friday's test. So I'd like to follow up on it. I hope you felt like you did well. So I'm trying to be fair in the way I write those tests, just based on what I promise you that I'm going to ask. So anyway, now as a follow-up, I've got 11 questions for you really quick. So here they are. Use your cover sheet. Don't look at anybody else's paper. Just look at your own. And then I'm going to come back with an announcement in just a little bit about winding up the quarter, because this is the last week of the quarter. I'll come back to that. Okay, on your white sheet, so if you'll put down for number 1, what is the term we use, one word answer, for a planet, a moon, or a star like our sun that's spinning? What is that called? That's number 1. Don't say it out loud, just write it on your paper, on your white sheet. Use your cover sheet. Please keep your eyes on your own paper. So just spinning. What's the name for that? Spinning. Number 2. What's the term we use for going around another object? So for that other object, holding something in by its gravity so that it orbits it. So what is the term for that motion around another object? That's number 2. Going around another object being held in by its gravity. Number 3. What was the purpose? Be succinct as you write a nice bullet fact on the purpose. 4. My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. What's the purpose of that? I don't know, Mr. C. It's just a dumb song. No, there's another purpose other than that. So what is the purpose of the My Very song? Number 3. Quick. Number 4. What do we call an object that is very tiny, dust speck size, and it runs into the Earth's atmosphere and burns up? What is that called? That is number 4. Now number 5. So number 4 was a dust speck on average size piece of material that hits the atmosphere and just burns up, vaporizes. Number 5. What do we call a heavier object that, more mass, it runs into the Earth's atmosphere, most of it burns up, but there's something left over and it hits the Earth? What do you call that? That's number 5. Weren't these on the test? Yeah, I'm just running by them again. One more run through. Number 6. Which kind of eclipse is this? Right here. What kind of eclipse is it when the moon is in that position right there? So the moon is between the sun and the Earth. What kind of eclipse is this? Just a one-word answer. That's all we need. What kind of eclipse? It would be solar or lunar. What kind is it? And that was number 6. What kind of eclipse? Number 7. Which phase of the moon, and here's what I want to know. It's not exactly what you're thinking. It's a one-word answer that's involved in the phases. The 8 phases that I taught you, and then the 6 that I ask about on Friday's test. What's in the phases? It's a one-word answer that means that the moon's face is getting bigger. What is the name for that? Getting bigger. What do we call that? One-word answer. The other one was getting smaller. Get more lit up, less lit up. I'm asking about more lit up. What's the term for that? So, and it's not gibbous. It's not gibbous. Gibbous is a moon that's almost full. That's a gibbous moon. So I'm not asking about that. I'm just asking about being more lit up. What is the term for that? That was number 7. Number 8, what is the glue that holds together the galaxy? The Milky Way galaxy, the universe, really. What holds together the galaxy so things don't fly off randomly? They're held in place. They're orbiting around things. What is the glue? It's a one-word answer. And you're welcome on this Monday. It's a G word. It's a G word. The glue is a G word. Number 9, one-word answer. What do we call a principle that always works in science? Isaac Newton came up with several of these about gravity, about moving objects. A one-word answer for a principle in science that always works. You can count on it. What do we call it? He came up with principles about gravity, about moving objects, about objects that weren't moving. So that's number 9. One-word answer, a science principle. Number 10. What did God specifically use to design you? The idea comes out in Psalm 139, 13 and 14. For you form me, which is so awesome. And behind that means that God likes the way he designed you, physically and personality-wise, and also you have a great purpose because he designed you. But what I want to know is, what did he use to design you? What scientific answer did he use? That's number 10. Number 11. I'm going to stop at 10. We're good with 10? Okay. So I'm going to stop it right there, and I'll give you the answers in just a minute. If Mr. Gilbert needs to clarify a question, go ahead. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gilbert. So halfway through lectures, we'll do a clarification question stop on a regular basis. So if you miss something and you go, what is this or what was that? Good time to ask him. All right, here are the answers. Use your red pens only. Okay, we'll go quickly and then I'll tell you how you'll score this, how you'll grade it. So we ended up only having 10. All right, here it is. So I might have a bonus at the end, maybe, that'll take the place of one you missed. Let's see. Okay, so what do you call the spinning of a planet, moon, or a star? Rotation, of course. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Number 2, going around another object. That's revolve or revolution. Rotation, revolution. So 1 and 2 in that order. Number 3. What's the purpose of my very educated mother? Just served us 9 pizzas. To teach you the planets, the planet names in order from the sun out. Number 4, what do we call a tiny dust speck size object that hits the atmosphere and burns up? That's a meteor. There was a little confusion about that. A meteor. Number 5, what do you call a heavier speck? A heavier speck that there's something left over when it goes through the atmosphere, burns up, and hits the atmosphere. That's a meteorite. It hit. Meteorite. Hit. Okay? So, and number 6. What kind of eclipse was this right here? Turn it the way I had it. So the moon is blocking light from the sun. There's a shadow cast on the earth, and if you're in that shadow, you can't see the sun. So the sun's light is eclipsed. It's a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse for number 6. Number 7, a word that I ask about lighting up more and more and more that comes from phases. Waxing, 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 and then waning, 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 waning. Waxing, waning. So it's waxing or wax. It's an interesting word, old-fashioned word. Number 8, the glue that holds the galaxy together, a G word. Gravity, of course. Gravity for number 8. Now be honest as you grade this. Be honest. Number 9, a principle that always works in science. You can count on it. It just always works. The principle about universal gravitation. Oh, that's the law of universal gravitation. The principle about moving objects, Newton's first law of motion, about moving objects. So it's a law. The word for number 9 is law. There isn't any other answer. Law. Scientific law. Number 10, God used a specific thing, science thing, to design you. DNA. Designed you with DNA, which is just incredible. And it does make us want to really thank Him. Thank you, Lord. Thank you that we're not just accidental blobs of tissue. We were designed by God. And our appearance was designed by God. Boy, that's been comforting to me, starting when I probably was 20. When I figured that out, it made such a difference in my life, just to know that, have that confidence. Okay, this is going to take the place of one, if you missed one. This is, we'll just call it B for a bonus. Here it is. What do you call the phase of the moon when it's close to being full? It's not quite full, or it's on the other side of being full. What do you call that? One word answer. It'll take the place of one you missed. All right, what is it called? A gibbous moon. It's either a waxing gibbous or on the other side, a waning gibbous, but it's almost full gibbous. Okay, so put the number you missed, including if you had gibbous, add that in. So gibbous takes the place of one you missed. If you missed one, your score over 10, please. Okay, your score over 10. Now here's a story. Okay, this will only count if you had an 8, a 9, or a 10, or halvesies somewhere in there, like 8.5, 9.5. Okay, out of 10, your name and date and period are already on it, so pass it in the middle. If you had an 8, a 9, or a 10, I'll determine if it'll help your average. So I was giving you it was a good review opportunity and a good opportunity to get you a little help if you needed it. So pass it in. If you had an 8, 9, or 10, I won't put it in unless it's going to help your average. Okay? So I won't stick it in unless your average will be helped. Okay. Well, this is it. This is the last week of the first quarter, hard to believe, and we're in October, and October is going to evaporate. Now, here's the deal. You know that all late work's got to be in by Wednesday. And if you're going to make a test up, you've got to get the test made up by Wednesday. If you've got an outstanding test you haven't taken. Okay? Now, there are still extra credit things on the table if you're interested in those and you haven't gotten them. Now, I'm not going to put them in the computer twice, but if you haven't gotten these extra credit things and you want to, so you can look at Saturn and Jupiter. They're high in the southern sky every night as it darkens up. You can even see them 30 minutes after sunset, and then they get clearer and clearer as it gets darker and darker. So Saturn and Jupiter, and they're getting closer and closer. Remember, they're on their march toward the Great Conjunction. Almost 400 years ago was the last one this close, on December 21st, the Great Conjunction. So, and are you going to give us extra credit in December on the Great Conjunction? Yeah, sure. You bet I will. And then there's the Galilean moons to look at. I saw one last night, either with binoculars or a telescope. You've got to hold your telescope or your binoculars very steady by balancing your elbows on something and pulling the eye cups into your orbits, the bones around your eye. By the way, divine design right there to protect your eyeballs. Not an accident. That bony ridge right there. Isn't that cool? Way to go, God. Right there. So anyway, the eye cups are rubber, so scoot those in, hold your elbows as steady as you can, take a deep breath and hold it, and then slowly move to the left or right across the disk of Jupiter. Good luck on seeing a Galilean moon. Mr. C, how many times have you looked? Oh, I don't know, 10, 12 times in the last number of weeks. Why do you keep doing it? It's just fun. It's fun to think Galileo did this 400 years ago. And that's how one of the ways he determined that the Earth is not the center of the solar system, but the sun is. I don't know, isn't that cool to you? Isn't that worth a look-see? I would think. So, anyway. So, and then you've got Venus and Mars in the morning. Okay? So, Venus and Mars, 5:30ish, 5:45. It's getting lighter later now, so probably 5:45 and you'd be fine. Now Mars is way over high in the sky, but way to the west. Okay, you actually could see Mars at 8 p.m. in the evening now. It rises maybe at 7 p.m., but doesn't get high enough to see until 8 p.m. in the evening. Orangish. It's cool to see it. I was talking with my son-in-law about it, and he likes thinking about astronauts going to Mars. Guess, and then show on your fingers so Mr. Gilbert can see them. How long do you think it takes astronauts traveling to Mars from Earth? How long? In months. Show the number of months. Give your hypothesis. What do you think? 7 months. That's one way. Got to take a lot of food, yeah? If you're going to Mars. It's not a one-way trip. So, and you're going to be there a while. So, anyway, so what's it going to take? 7 and 7, so 14 months plus however long you stay. Got to have a lot of food and water, or ways to get food and water. So, anyway, we're going to have to figure out a lot of things yet before we get serious about actually going to Mars. And then there was Stellarium that you could look at for 15 minutes, play around with Stellarium and use it to see constellations and stars and planets in the night sky. Stellarium, or your parents' phone app that you can just point at the night sky. One of them might be called Night Sky. You can just point the phone up at the night sky at an object and it'll tell you what it is. Got to do that for 15 minutes. Look around at a lot of things, either with Stellarium, Stellarium, or a phone app, maybe Night Sky or Starry Sky. Your parents probably have an app on their phone. You might even have it on your phone. Many of you have the latest and greatest cell phones, so possibility. Now I'm saving a little time because I'm going to show you a video on Isaac Newton. So a little short video, like 3 minutes. And then you will have seen videos on the Biographical Life of two of the greatest scientists who ever lived, ever. Galileo and now Newton, Isaac Newton. So I love throwing out information to you about fantastic, great scientists. Okay, here's your homework. In your homework, it's on the board there, you see it. You're going to read pages 32 to 34, and you're going to read and highlight LS6, which I think you already have. I think it was handed out. So you're going to read and highlight LS6. You're going to read pages 32 to 34 in your book. And here's what you're going to do. I love this. And I've got a special guest coming on Tuesday to help you get more information and explain something about this object. What is it? It's the moon. Last night I had the binos on a full moon, nearly a full moon. Boy, it was cool. Really cool. Okay? So it's now a gibbous moon, so it's on the other side. It's a waning gibbous. And you can, when you see it in the sky, you'll go, oh yeah, it's a waning gibbous now. It's smaller than a full moon, but it's still pretty full as far as how much light lit up. All right, what's the assignment? What do we have to do? Okay, in your journal, you've got to dedicate a couple of pages to the moon in your journal. So find a couple of pages in your journal, maybe the next two available pages in your journal. Just put the moon or moon notes. And what you're going to do in your book and on LS6, you're going to gather all the data you can on facts about the moon. You're not writing bullet facts. I mean, you can, but I just want short characteristics of the moon. What's it like? Short characteristics of the moon from pages 32 to 34 and LS6. And here's what you're doing. So you're going to list all the characteristics you can come up with on the moon, and then I want you to make a list of things that you're going to need to take to the moon, because I'm pretending, that you're an astronaut and you're going to the moon. So because of the characteristics that moon has, what are you going to need to take with you? Let's say you're going to be there a week. So what do you need? So anyway, make a list of what you need. You might do that on the right side. But if you run out of room on the left side, you're going to put more characteristics on the right side, and then you can make your list of what you need to take. If you need to go to a third page in your journal, fine. Every characteristic that you can get. Now, don't short me on this. Do a nice job on this. Mr. C, are you going to take our journals? Uh-huh. Yeah, when are you going to take them? I'm not telling. Yeah, is it going to be a grade for the first quarter as promised? Yes. Yes. Yep. So anyway, fill this out. Characteristics on the left side of the moon. Maybe you'll need part of the right side. And then let's say 6 to 8 things that are on your list. These are critical things that you've got to take to the moon because you're going to become a moon astronaut. So, which is really cool. And supposedly we're going to head back to the moon in a few years. So we'll see if that ends up becoming a possibility. So tomorrow I have a special guest that's coming to help get a few things across to you about the moon. So anyway, I think it's going to be really cool. Look for my special guest. Don't forget, turn in late work by Wednesday, makeup tests by Wednesday. Now, you're going to see a video on Isaac Newton, and then you'll have some opportunity to do some essays, one essay, one science activity, and then you're going to work on your lunar homework, your moon homework. Okay, I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Gilbert. He's going to cue up the Isaac Newton video. It's really short, and then you'll do essays for about 10 minutes. All right, go.